Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are diving into American Water's proxy statement, and let me tell you, it has some juicy details. We're talking CEO shakeups, shareholder squabbles, and enough financial figures to make your head spin. So what's the story here? American Water, the biggest publicly traded water and wastewater utility company in the US, is gearing up for its annual meeting. This proxy statement is basically a user manual for shareholders, telling them what's on the agenda and how to vote. First off, there's a big change at the top. The current CEO, Susan Hardwick, is retiring. She has been the CEO since 2022. Taking her place will be John Griffith, the current president. Shareholders will be voting on a few things, including electing 8 directors to the board, giving an advisory vote on executive pay, and ratifying the appointment of their accounting firm. You might be wondering why this John Griffith is suddenly in charge. Well, the board thinks he's an exceptional choice and that he'll continue the company's strong record of industry leadership and high performance. It's all part of their executive succession plan. Speaking of leadership, Carl Kurtz is the board chair and is an independent director, meaning he isn't part of the day-to-day and can give impartial advice. They're trying to keep a mix of experienced and fresh faces on the board. No one wants a board full of dinosaurs or newbies. The sweet spot seems to be a blend of both. The company actually listens to its shareholders. They have a program where they talk to big investors to get their feedback on things like governance, executive pay, and sustainability. American Water likes to play fair in the political arena. They have a policy where all political contributions have to be approved by the CEO. They also disclose their contributions on their website. Time to elect the directors seems straightforward, but there's some drama. One director, Kimberly Harris, is stepping down for health reasons, and CEO Susan Hardwick is also not standing for re-election as a director because she is retiring. Let's run down some of the nominees. Jeffrey Edwards, for instance, is the vice chairman at New Vernon Capital and has tons of experience in finance. John Griffith, of course, will be on the board because he is about to be the CEO. Laurie Havanick was an executive VP at CVS Health. Patricia Campling used to be the CEO of Alliant Energy. Carl Kurtz, board chair, is a private investor. Michael Marbury, retired CEO of Huber, and Stuart McGuigan was a global chief information officer of Fresenius. Most of the board is independent, meaning they don't have close ties to the company's management. This is supposed to keep things fair and balanced. Now, let's get to how these directors are getting paid. They get annual cash retainers plus some stock. The board chair gets more naturally. Jeffrey Edwards, the audit committee chair, got about $314,000 total. Carl Kurtz as board chair raked in about $414,000 total. Carl Kurtz as board chair raked in about $67,000. Not bad for a year's work if you can get it. Here's a biggie. Proposal 2 is a vote on executive compensation. It's non-binding, so the company doesn't have to listen to the shareholders, but they probably will. This section breaks down how the top executives get paid. The goal is to reward them for good performance and creating long-term value without encouraging them to take crazy risks. The main parts of their pay packages are base salary, a cash-based annual performance plan APB, and a long-term equity plan, LTPP. Most of the executives' pay is variable and is earned based on company performance. The higher the performance, the higher the variable pay. For the CEO, roughly 60% of pay is variable based on performance. And on average for all the other top execs, it's about 53%. Over the last 5 years, if you invested $100 in American Water stock at the end of 2019, you'd have about 110 by the end of last year. The S&P 500 would have almost doubled your money. The annual performance plan is how they get bonuses. Ms. Hardwick can get up to 125% of her base salary if certain performance targets are achieved. The people are expected to meet goals or do good stuff to be able to collect the equity. The minimum required achievements are lower, but the reward is a lower amount of shares too. These are not easy goals to achieve. At the last shareholder vote, about 87% of shareholders approved of the executive compensation. So the board didn't see any need to make major changes. The next vote is on the current agenda. This section details what stock and units the executives have but haven't fully earned yet. Think of it as a future payday that depends on them sticking around and doing well. Cheryl Norton is the only one of the top people with a pension since the pension plan closed in 2006. As of the end of last year, that pension was valued at about $2.1 million. The ED&CC believes the income tax impacts of compensation is only one of many other relevant considerations in setting compensation. Proposal 3 covers who is doing the audit work and how much they're being paid. It for auditing the books, PricewaterhouseCoopers gets paid $4.4 million. Now let's see who owns what. CEO Susan Hardwick controls 35,008 shares, which isn't much, but also more than others. In total, all the directors and executive officers as a group only control a small slice of the pie. The Vanguard Group owns over 24 million shares, about 12.3%. BlackRock owns almost 20 million shares, 10,000, and State Street Corporation has 5.7%. So the big institutional investors have a significant say in what happens at American Water. If there are any other business needs to be attended to, the board of directors that you vote for can vote on them with discretion. Keep in mind, this document contains forward-looking statements, so you shouldn't put all your faith in it. It's a projection, not a promise. If you're a real numbers person, check out Appendix A for a detailed breakdown of their non-GAAP financial measures. So what's my take on American Water? Well, this proxy statement paints a picture of a company in transition. The leadership change is a big deal, and it'll be interesting to see if John Griffith can keep the ship sailing smoothly. They seem committed to shareholder engagement, but I would also like to see a higher return on investment compared to the broader market. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, like and comment.